This time on the show, Ubuntu 12.04 is around the corner and we have a first look at its new head-up display. Then 80 of Dual Core joins us to set up Backtrack 5 with root encryption. Plus, Ubuntu on Android? Ha, awesome! And we're bashing stuff!
No, Shin, we're doing bash scripts in Linux.
Oh.
A little different.
No?
No.
Okay.
Next time.
Alright. All that and more this time on Hak5. This segment of Hak5 is brought to you by Team.
Hello, welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
This is a weekly dose of Technolust.
Yes, it is, and I am so excited.
Why?
Because I might have a really cool segment to talk about.
Uh-oh. I know that you've been having an interesting love-hate relationship with some different Linux distros over the last season. Yeah.
And I've got to say, this live one that I've been trying out is pretty awesome.
Well, you've been playing the field all throughout season 10.
You know, I have. I've been playing it single with the Linux compartments. And
I mean, Ping OS I thought was the one for you.
Yeah, and you know, it was me.
But it was the Broadcom was I think the killer. So I don't think that's Ping OS. I think you just should break up with Broadcom. I got together with a Theros years ago.
Well,
and we've been good since.
Maybe after the IRS takes all my money and next year I could afford a new laptop. So maybe I'll just get a new
Dude, have you been
something
seeing some of
that's
these
not a Broadcom.
Oh my God.
Ooh, yes.
I want either the Acer or the Asus. Those, but they're 13 inches.
They're huge.
And I'm the only one that thinks that's huge. Everybody else is like, oh, 13 inches, that's a
Whatever,
small
your old laptop was ginormous.
I hate those huge machines. I want like an EPC with like an i7.
That's true, you did have that midget PC for a while.
That PC. That
it was pretty cute. Yeah, I gotta say, that one was pretty awesome. Yeah. So hey, guess what?
Yes.
Have you heard about Hak5?
Yeah?
Just so happens that Hak5 is the longest running show on Revision 3.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was totally in the calendar. Yes! By the time this airs, Hak5 has now become the longest running show on Revision 3.
I mean, not only have you been doing the show since 2005.
Yeah, August 5th. What?
Like non-stop. Of course, it used to be once a month. But even so, we have had the longest running show on the network now.
That's so exciting.
Now that I miss Dignation.
Yeah, I know.
I miss those guys.
Oh well.
But it's kind of cool.
Maybe it'll come back like The Broken. I'm still waiting for episode 5. Anyway.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, making me feel old here.
Awesome.
All right.
Learned how to steal pizzas.
Hey, you want to talk about stealing some packets?
Oh,
Guess what I got into over the holiday weekend? Decided to take a crack at the Wi-Fi Pineapple Mark IV, which is finally done. 1.0 the firmware, so you'll see it in the Hack Shop. We'll talk about it in more detail a little later. But
yeah, you've been working your butt off on that, man.
Because if I have seemed out of it lately,
that's why.
It's why. I mean, literally just like all night, all day, just coding, and coding.
Yeah.
And so it's so nice to not be in programmer mode and now shift my focus to the fun, like this one I call the Tactical Assault Kit. You know, it's like
it's kind of cool looking.
Well, the thing is, I'm headed to.
Small.
Well, yeah, this is a Pelican 1010 case, and you can see here what I've got is a. This is actually the Enercell battery that they handed us as a freebie at CES.
Yes, nice.
And it's nice because it's got an on-off switch, and then I've got the board here, and then I just drilled a little hole for the antenna, and with a 3G modem, and it can all fit in here self-contained. And so, you know, I'm playing with different options because I think I mentioned it.
We haven't quite found the perfect Pelican case.
I've got a couple, and we're still working on like the different battery options because there's like, you know.
Yeah, the sizing of them, it has to be the right dimensions
well, it's not just
to fit in it.
I'm trying to find something that will be like the perfect solution and at the same time something that is UL certified. I've found
What is UL certified?
It means that you don't get arrested if you sell it without the sticker. It's like it's the same reason why you can do cool stuff with like the TP-Link 703N, except for the fact that it's not.
Can you sell
FCC,
it in America?
No, it's not FCC certified, so we go to jail, and so things that are on my radar: UL, CE, ROHS, FCC. I'm probably boring you guys with acronyms here, but so anyway, I'm checking out a whole bunch of different cases and battery pack options. So my focus has shifted from programming to the physical sense, because I think I had mentioned March, what is it, March 10th? No, March 10th or 11th at 11 a.m. or 10 a.m., vice versa. I don't know. Check the South by Southwest schedule. We'll put a lower third up.
Oh, yes.
I'm talking at South by Southwest. And this innocuous little box here is going to rock. I'm thinking a lead acid battery, maybe lithium ion, and the pineapple. And I'm going to do like a either laser engraved with our new laser cutter or like vinyl, custom vinyl sticker or something to make it look like a box from the phone company.
That would be awesome. Some
giant magnets. I got a lot of room in here to work with, so I've kind of shifted focus to...
It'll be safe to have magnets on it?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, why not?
Well, I don't know. It's a computer part.
I mean, it's solid state.
Board?
Yeah, but it's not a spinny hard drive with...
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We'll find out here real soon.
Oh, by the way, we have a party coming up.
We have a party on May 3rd coming up.
Yes, it's on May 3rd, and it's at the Baltic Pub. There's a Facebook invite if you guys want to go over there and RSVP so we know exactly how many people are coming, or at least get a decent estimation so we can let the bar know.
Also, if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, hit us up because we're doing our first ever Wi-Fi workshop in a target-rich environment in San Francisco late March, and we'll have some awesome goodies for the end of it, following on with it. It's like Wi-Fi workshop with pineapples and in a real-life situation.
That
and
sounds
then we
like
have
so much
a sneak peek at something awesome, and then a pub crawl.
We do?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I'm still working on the venues and all that, so we'll have details here very shortly.
Tell me
but
about
now,
that.
I'll tell you later. We're not done make. Yeah. And so, before we get going to that segment, though, it's time to do a gift from a fan.
We don't have a gift from a fan.
That's where you're wrong.
We do?
We do have a gift from a fan.
What is this?
Here, let me open it for you.
Nice knife.
Wait, that's me cutting towards myself.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have
I made that mistake
tools.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's why these pans have a hole in them. I went swing.
Oops. Yeah. If you know anything from Hak5, Darren shouldn't have knives or power tools or anything of that sort, but he is allowed to have a laser cutter, it turns out.
Yeah, we have a laser cutter.
There you go.
It's awesome. What? Hey!
Oh, that's for me.
TNT.
Uh-huh.
For snubs, diamonds equals girl's best friend.
Are you into Minecraft, any?
Oh my god! These are Minecraft bags?
Well, these are tissue boxes.
Oh wait, this is a tissue box?
Yeah, we get like some Kleenex or something in here, and we got some tissues, and it's TNT, it's 8-bit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
These are
adorable.
Snotty Bots over at snotty-bots.com. And they're made by the same person that made...
That's cute. Paul, you got one too. Oh, his is a grassy knoll.
Oh, this is for you. Dear Shannon.
Oh, it's a monkey. Dear Shannon, I hope you like your portrait monkey. She was very fun to make. If you want to change her clothes, she fits most 18-inch doll clothes. She made me a monkey?
So do you remember Tamara?
Tamara, yes!
Yeah.
She made your Hak5 monkey.
She made the Hak5 monkey, and now...
Oh, that is so cute. Oh my goodness. I have to keep this up on a shelf or my cat will eat her.
Yeah?
Oh, that is so precious.
They have pals.
Look at her. She even has little bones. Oh, and she has eyelashes. I'm in love. This is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, you guys have to go over to sockmonkey.net, find out about getting your own custom sock monkey. And we love Tamara because she's been helping us out and hooking us up for years now, it seems.
Thank you so much, Tamara.
Yes, and mad props and congrats to Tamara and Christopher, otherwise known as XTO. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, I'm so happy right now.
All right.
I got my own monkey.
With all that said, we're going to go ahead and move on because we want to find out about setting up your Backtrack 5 box with encryption. So if you leave your laptop at a HackerCon, you're not SOL. I'm just saying. Not that I would ever do that.
Of course not.
Yeah, so take it away, dual core. Guys, this is so cool. When I found out Ting was our new sponsor, I got really excited because I've been using their service since launch and have already built in support with the new pineapple. So check this out. I shouldn't have to tell you how frustrating the whole mess of phone services is. The whole experience is confusing, there's lame rules, there's unnecessary overages. And if you ever tried approaching a phone company, you know they're completely inflexible. Well, get this. Ting is a totally different kind of mobile phone company. They're made up of a bunch of cool geeks up in Canada who basically got frustrated with the whole status quo thing and designed a whole new kind of phone service from the ground up. With Ting, it's all about clarity, usability, and big savings. And they're based on the Sprint network, so they've got 4G, Android phones, and killer data devices. So two things I really love about Ting. First of all, when you call support, get this, you're connected to a real, live, intelligent human that can actually help you, not a phone tree. And second, their billing is brilliant. Seriously, this is something that I've been dreaming of for like ages. Fair and honest pricing separately on minutes, text messages, and megabytes. So use less than you anticipated, well then get credited the difference at the end of the month. Or use more than you thought you would, well then you get bumped up to the appropriate plan. No penalties, no premiums, just plain and simple rate. And with Ting, I don't get cut off for using like too much internet or pay too much if I use too little. Like 100 megs for instance is a mere $3. Perfect for a little SSH action. So this is the best part. Right now, if you head over to ting.com/hak5, you'll find their online savings calculator, their plans, and their killer devices. Best of all, visit ting.com/hak5. You'll get $50 off only when you go to ting.com/hak5.
What's up everybody? Int80 from Dual Core, IW website as on the internet. Today we're going to be doing an installation of Backtrack 5 with an encrypted root. So it's kind of cool because you get basically full disk encryption. So if your laptop gets stolen or confiscated or left at DEF CON 19 and it's turned off and your data's at rest, you're pretty well protected. The end result that we're going to have is on your target drive, like your solid state drive or your hard drive, you're going to have one partition that's encrypted, and then our boot stuff, like our kernel image and init RAM disk and all that, is going to be on separate media. So we're going to be using a USB drive. You can use SD card, whatever you want. And what's like really cool about all this is we're going to be using a key file instead of a passphrase. So all the guides that I've seen online, they all use a passphrase, and it's kind of a bummer because you already know like what the passphrase is, right? So you could be compelled to disclose it. With the key file, it could be random bytes. You don't know what the contents are. So that's kind of cool. Maybe you get like a little bit of plausible deniability in there. But on top of that, with the key file, you've got full use of each byte, right? But with a passphrase, each character is printable ASCII, and on top of that, it's like a subset even because it's alphanumerics and symbols if you're lucky. So we're significantly embiggening our key space in a perfectly cromulent manner. Okay, so what we're going to be using is we've got a Backtrack 5 live environment running. I booted mine over Pixie, but you can use USB or DVD or whatever you want to use. We're going to have a target drive. It's probably going to be dev SDA, but that's where our install is going to go, and we'll figure that out in just a moment. And then again, all of our boot media is going to end up on a separate device, a USB drive. So we've got our USB device plugged in, and I'm using VMware, so I'm just going to make sure that it's associated in the VM. Okay, so it looks like it's connected. So our first thing that we need to do is make sure that we've got the right devices distinguished. We want to make sure we write the right things to the right places. So there's a number of ways you can do this. A lot of people use dmessage, or they just look in their dev directory. I go with sfdisk. It's real simple, easy to use. sfdisk-l will get you like a printout of the partition table for whatever device you're looking at. So in most cases, dev SDA is like your hard drive or your solid state drive, and then your peripherals go from there unless you have multiple drives in your box. If we take a look at dev SDA and dev SDB, we see dev SDA has empty partition table and dev SDB has a FAT32 partition. You can use also some like contextual information to be of assistance here. I know for a fact that the target drive has no partitions on it, so that's going to be dev SDA, and USB drives ship with a FAT32 partition, so that's dev SDB with our FAT32 partition. So while we're at it, let's go ahead and make some partitions, and to do this we'll just use fdisk. If you've ever done partitioning before, it's pretty straightforward. We'll do the hard drive first, so dev SDA, and we'll make a new partition, type primary, and we'll just use the whole device. Nice and easy. So if you print it out, It's going to be a Linux partition by default, and we're good to go. We can write the changes to the device. Let's do the same thing, but with the USB device. And since we already had the FAT32 partition on here, I can go ahead and delete it. I guess you could probably just change the type if you wanted to. Either way, probably should be fine. And you know what? I think I will keep Linux as the default, so that's going to be that 83, right? So we'll just keep that. And be sure to make it bootable because we're going to be booting off of our USB device. You can use an SD card for this or whatever you want, but basically we're just going to be putting our boot partition on separate media because all that stuff's going to be unencrypted. So if we print our partition table, we see now that it's bootable and we are ready to write our changes to the device. So we've got our new partition table set up. We're ready to roll. Now we're ready to create our key file. Before we do that, I would just want to mention real quick, if you've got an actual hard drive that you're using, like with a platter and moving disk head, you may want to randomize the bytes on the device beforehand. This is before doing your partitioning. So to do that, it's very simple. You just use dd on dev urandom. I usually buffer about 1 megabyte of bytes before I write it to the device. It speeds things up. And then just your output file is going to be your dev SDA, your target hard drive where the install is going to happen. That's if you're really paranoid, like me, about sciencey stuff. So in this case, I'm just going to forego it, but you can just let it run and then do your partitioning. But now, moving on to our key file, there are a number of different ways you can go about this. I like to use bytes that already exist on the USB drive, so that way it's a little less obvious, right? I mean, you could have keyfile.bin and you just generate a bunch of random bytes, put them in a key file, and let it sit on the device, but then it's kind of obvious, right? Like they might look at your USB drive like, oh, keyfile.bin, I wonder what that is. If we take a look at the bytes on our USB device, we can see like there's plenty of bytes there we can use. Why don't we just pick an offset and we'll grab bytes from that offset and use those as our key. I guess I'll go with offset 32 or 20 in hex, so we'll just start grabbing bytes from there. So that's a simple DD again. DD just moves bytes, real nice program. So our input file is going to be our USB device. Block size is going to be 1, so 1 byte at a time, and 64 because we're going to end up using a key size of 512 bits, so that's 64 bytes. And then we'll skip to 32 for the offset. And we'll put this in first.key. This may change, like the bytes on the device may change because we're going to be installing grub to the device later on. So just set this aside for now and we'll go from there. So now we've got our key file derived and we're ready to start doing our crypto stuff. We're going to be using a program called Crypt Setup. I believe it comes installed automatically on Backtrack, but if you need to get it, you can get it through Aptitude. So we're going to be doing Crypt Setup, and our cipher algorithm is going to be AES XTS plain. Key size again is going to be 512 bits or 64 bytes. And the first command that we're going to give it is lux format. That's going to format our partition for use with crypto stuff. So we want to specify our partition dev SDA1, which is what we created in fdisk, and then our key file that we derived, however we derived it, temp first key. We do want to irrevocably overwrite the data, so yes in all caps, because you mean it. So now we've got our partition that's formatted for crypto stuff, and we are ready to open it up for use. So the -d flag, again we're going to be using Crypt Setup. The -d flag is our key file to specify. Lux open is the command we're going to use. Dev SDA1 is our partition that we're going to open up, and then we create this mapping. I'm just going to call mine Hak5. You can call it whatever you want, just make sure that you use the same mapping name throughout the course of your procedure. We open our mapping for Hak5, and we can see the mapping in dev mapper if you do an ls on it. So we're going to be using this handle to interface to the device, our dev mapper Hak5. So now we've got our mapping to our device. This is going to be how we interface for the crypto stuff onto the like the target media, like our hard drive or our solid state drive. Now all we need to do is do some file system formatting. Let's go ahead and format our boot partition first on our USB drive. So that's going to be dev SDV1. And so I'm using extended 2 because there's no journaling, so you get less file I/O. So hopefully that kind of slows the degradation of the actual physical media inside the USB device. Your USB drive lives longer, like a nice fun life. I will mention that if you're using USB to boot your live Backtrack 5 environment, you do want to pay attention, especially at the beginning, and making sure that you get the right devices so that you're not overwriting your Backtrack 5 environment and you're writing to the actual device that you think you are. We've got our extended 2 for our boot partition. Let's do an extended 4 for our root install on our target. And remember, we're going to be using the mapped interface, so dev mapper Hak5 in this case. Depending on your device size, it may take a while, so feel free to go get a beer, a cup of coffee, or a delicious vodka and Red Bull. So at this point, we've got our partitions made, we've got our file systems formatted, and we're ready to actually use the Backtrack 5 installer. If you've got your console up, you can minimize it. There's a nice icon right there on the desktop to kick off the installer. Most of the stuff is pretty straightforward until you get to the specifying a device screen. So select your language, select your time zone, select your keyboard layout, all that good stuff. But then hold on until you get to the select a device, or whatever the screen is called, but basically where we set which partitions have which items. Prepare disk space, that's what it is. Okay, so we're going to specify partitions manually. That's the bottom radio button. You should see your bar go all orange. I guess orange means advanced. I don't know. All right, so we're going to be using our mapped interface, our dev mapper Hak5 for our root partition. Highlight that, click change. It'll bring up another dialog, and we want to use the partition as an extended 4 file system because that's what we formatted before. If you did something else, extended 3 or BRTS, BRTFS or whatever, BTRFS, you can just select the option. Select your mount point as root, like slash, because that's what we're going to be installing. And then again, for our boot partition on the USB device. Remember, we did extended 2 in this case. If you did something different, just make sure you click the corresponding file system. Alright, you don't have to format any of these because remember we just did the formatting with the MakeFS programs. So we are set to go. Click forward and then like hang out for a bit while the install happens. It does ask about swap space because we didn't set up a partition for swap space, but you can do that later using just a file. If you remember from the scalpel segments, Linux treats everything as a file, so a file can be anything. So you can even use a file for swap space. So that's kind of neat because you can set your swap file inside of your encrypted partition, and that way, like when stuff swaps out of memory to disk, it's not completely unprotected. Oh, one last thing too. On this ready to install screen, just make sure that the bootloader, that grub, is being written to the proper device. So just click advanced and make sure you've got your proper device in there. But after that, you are ready to roll. Click install, hit pause, I guess, on the episode, and then once it comes back with the like continue testing or reboot now, wait there and we'll be ready to roll.